Explore the adrenaline-pumping world of law enforcement's lightning-fast captures. From high-stakes manhunts to swift investigative breakthroughs, join us on a journey through history's fastest arrests. Discover the real-life stories behind these rapid takedowns, showcasing the power of police precision and determination. Subscribe for thrilling insights into crime and justice. 1. Bombers in 1996 Atlanta Olympics. The bombing during the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta sent shockwaves through the city and the world. At Centennial Olympic Park, where thousands had gathered to celebrate, a powerful explosion occurred, resulting in chaos, injuries, and fatalities. In the immediate aftermath, security guard Richard Jewell was mistakenly identified as a suspect due to his vigilant actions in alerting authorities to a suspicious package before the blast. However, as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Jewell was not involved. The actual perpetrator was later determined to be Eric Robert Rudolph, a domestic terrorist with a history of anti-government and anti-abortion extremism. Despite evading capture for years, Rudolph was finally apprehended in 2003, bringing closure to a case that had gripped the nation. 2. Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. The Boston Marathon bombing in 2013 was a horrific act of terrorism that shook the city and the entire country. 2 pressure cooker bombs exploded near the marathon's finish line, causing widespread devastation and a sense of fear and vulnerability. The suspects, Tamerlan and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, triggered a massive manhunt that mobilized federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies. Tamerlan was killed in a confrontation with police, while Dzhokhar fled and was eventually found hiding in a boat in a Watertown backyard. His capture, less than 24 hours after the FBI released his photo to the public, marked a swift and decisive victory for law enforcement in the face of tragedy. 3. Capture of D.B. Cooper. The case of D.B. Cooper remains one of the most intriguing mysteries in aviation history. In 1971, a man using the alias D.B. Cooper hijacked a commercial airliner, demanded a ransom, and then parachuted out of the plane, disappearing without a trace. Despite an extensive search and investigation involving multiple agencies, including the FBI, Cooper's true identity and whereabouts have never been definitively determined. The audacious nature of the crime, coupled with the lack of conclusive evidence, has fueled decades of speculation and fascination among the public and law enforcement alike. 4. John Dillinger's arrest in 1934. John Dillinger, often referred to as Public Enemy No. 1 during the Great Depression era, was a notorious bank robber and criminal mastermind. His string of daring heists and narrow escapes made him a legendary figure in the criminal underworld and a top priority for law enforcement agencies. In 1934, after a relentless pursuit by the FBI and local authorities, Dillinger was finally apprehended outside the Biograph Theater in Chicago. His arrest marked a significant victory for law enforcement in their efforts to combat organized crime and bring notorious criminals to justice. 5. Golden State Killer Case. The Golden State Killer, a moniker given to the elusive serial killer and rapist who terrorized California in the 1970s and 1980s, remained unidentified for decades. However, advancements in forensic DNA analysis eventually led to a breakthrough in the case. In 2018, Joseph James D'Angelo was arrested and charged with a series of brutal murders and sexual assaults attributed to the Golden State Killer. The meticulous work of law enforcement investigators, coupled with advancements in genetic genealogy, played a crucial role in connecting D'Angelo to the crimes and providing closure to the victims' families after years of uncertainty and fear. 6. Capture of Eric Rudolph in 2003. Eric Robert Rudolph's reign of terror culminated in the bombing during the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, but his capture would not come until years later. Rudolph, a domestic terrorist with extreme anti-government and anti-abortion beliefs, managed to evade law enforcement for over 5 years. It wasn't until 2003 that he was finally apprehended in Murphy, North Carolina, after being spotted scavenging for food near a supermarket. His arrest was the result of persistent investigative work and a coordinated effort by multiple agencies determined to bring him to justice for his heinous acts. 7. Manhunt for Christopher Dorner in 2013. Christopher Dorner's rampage in 2013, targeting law enforcement officers and their families in Southern California, sparked a massive manhunt and captured national attention. Dorner, a former LAPD officer, sought revenge for what he perceived as injustices within the police department. The intense manhunt, spanning several days and involving multiple agencies, came to a dramatic conclusion in a cabin in Big Bear Lake, California. Despite attempts to negotiate his surrender, Dorner died in a fire that consumed the cabin, ending a manhunt that had gripped the region with fear and uncertainty. 8. Arrest of James Earl Ray for MLK assassination. The assassination of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 sent shockwaves across the nation and sparked an intensive investigation to bring the perpetrator to justice. James Earl Ray, a fugitive at the center of the manhunt, attempted to evade capture by fleeing the country. However, just over 2 months after the assassination, Ray was apprehended at London Heathrow Airport while attempting to board a flight using a false Canadian passport. His arrest marked a pivotal moment in the pursuit of justice for one of the most significant crimes of the civil rights era, though questions and controversies surrounding the assassination persist to this day. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling exploration of the fastest arrests in police history. From daring pursuits to meticulous detective work, these stories highlight the unwavering commitment of law enforcement. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content on crime, justice, and the triumph of law and order.